Welcome to A Kind Life. Tonight I'm joined here with Nicole. How are you going, Nicole?
I'm good.
That's good. Thank you for being here tonight. So you were actually recommended to come on this podcast by a beautiful human, also known as Tracey from Peanuts Wellbeing Sanctuary. I'm actually pretty intrigued to know how you two know each other, or is that top secret?
Oh gosh, you know what? I tried to think of how I know Tracey. I mean, we've just met a few times, I guess, in different places. Yeah, I don't know.
Have you been friends for
Yeah,
a
it's just
while?
been many times. Yeah. It's been years now, but it was just seeing each other at vegan days, and and it just bloomed, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tracey speaks very highly of you, but she also mentioned as well that you are quite the cat lover. I won't say crazy because I don't know you personally to call you crazy. So so tell us about your love for cats and how you've begun working with them.
Never really liked cats. But yeah, our daughter wanted a cat. So we got her a cat, or her grandmother got her a cat. And then we got another cat, and then we got another cat. So it just snowballed. And then I guess we just saw that there was homeless cats, and there was lots of them. So it just ballooned from there.
And so you're based in New South Wales, aren't you?
Yeah, just outside of Goulburn.
Yeah. And would you say like there's a higher, population of cats that need help there, or is it pretty similar to what you might find in other areas across Australia?
I guess, well, there is a lot here, a lot, but I would imagine in big cities it would be a lot worse.
Yeah. And so, when you say that you started to, realize that there were these homeless cats that needed help, how did you think, or how did you start to actually help them? Where did you begin?
By finding out that there was a thing called a cat trap and setting it.
But I'm guessing you had to have a bigger plan than just that.
No, we didn't. We were so stupid, I guess, in a way. We didn't know what we were doing at all. We were probably, our house was too small. We didn't have outdoor areas for them. So we pretty much had to move because we had too many cats.
How many's
So,
too many?
oh, back then it was probably between 15 and 20, I guess, back then. But and then we moved to the country and built a house, and we built it specifically for cats. I mean, we have areas. Well, no, we don't have areas. I'm lying. The house is for the cats, and we live in it.
I love that. I have heard people say that before. It's like, oh, the cats own this house, or the cats run the place. So it sounds like that's what happens at your house.
Yeah, absolutely, they do.
And so at what point did you get involved, I guess, in terms of like now you're helping Peanuts? Is it a new initiative called Lazy Bones Cat Rescue?
We always thought one day we might call ourselves Lazy Bones, but we always kind of wanted to keep in the background. We didn't want to be out there for people to see. We just wanted to do it on our own. So when Tracey mentioned that she wanted to go more into the cat side of things, because she knows that there's a lot of cat problems around, we kind of decided that we would just merge, because Tracey also has limited space for cats. So, but we had the more space here, so it just kind of made sense that we did it together, which is very helpful for the cats.
Yeah. And so is part of it, that you catch any like homeless cats, and then do you try and sort of rehabilitate them and rehome them, or what sort of is involved?
We do. We try and rehabilitate them. A lot do not want to be rehabilitated. And when I say a lot, most of them. I mean, we have rehomed a lot of cats over the years, but there's a lot of cats that we have 38 cats at the moment, and probably 20, high 20s are unrehomable. So, but then some of them are just old. People don't want old cats. So some of them have health issues. People don't want cats with health issues. And the other ones, they do their own thing. They don't want to know that you're there, pretty much. And we don't see a couple of them ever. We have to go look for them occasionally to make sure they're okay.
And so does that
they'll
mean,
be huge.
yeah, I was going to say, does that mean they'll be living their days out at your place?
Yes.
Do you think
they will,
that,
and that's okay.
yeah, do you think that people, when you have had people interested in rehoming cats, like, do they generally want, cute fluffy kittens, and there's not as much of a interest in older cats, or like you were saying, sick cats?
Yes, definitely kittens. They want kittens.
And that's what I was, sort of wondering is, long term, I guess, are you concerned about the capacity you have there, or is there at some point you think you'll have to stop taking in more cats?
Yeah, that point is now, kind of. We did decide that there would have to be a limit. Our limit was 30, because we also don't want overcrowding. At the moment we have 38. So we've kind of just popped over that line there. And we still have a few more in a colony that we're catching at the moment. So we will have just over 40. And I think we just can't do any more than that. And keep them happy.
Yeah.
Because you can't just shove a whole heap of cats in a room.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot that goes to it. Do you guys get contacted by like people that want to surrender cats, or even, like local council pounds and that sort of thing? Or do you more sort of do your own thing?
We do our own thing, although when we decided to go down this track with Tracey and Mick at Peanuts, I did put up a Facebook page, and in the hope that, a couple of people might go, oh, do you need some help? Can we donate you some cat food and something? But it's not. Most of the people that contact you want to give you a cat. Yeah. My cat had kittens. Can you take them? And, you have to say no. Like, you feel bad about it, but I can't say yes all the time.
Yeah. I'm not sure about, obviously I'm from Victoria, so it might be a little bit different, but I know that, they were looking to try and improve like the costing around, desexing and things, like having certain times where it's free. So, to try and avoid kittens, endless amounts of kittens. Like, do you know if there's anything like that happening or being looked at for New South Wales?
In certain parts of New South Wales, I have seen it happen in certain council areas, but it's up to the council. I don't see our council doing that, although I might just touch base with them again about it. Last time I touched base with them about it, it was a definite hard no that they wouldn't do that. So yeah, I mean, it's worth a try.
And that's what I did wonder, like, is part of your role also kind of, I guess, advocacy? So, like you said, reaching out to councils or maybe vets or other, not just physically caring for the animals you have there, but also trying to improve it outside of what you do at your house, at your property for cats.
Yeah, well, I think you have to anyway, because you can't do it all on your own. You can't, regardless of whether you want to or not. And I think talking to council, I mean, you've got to find a solution. You can't just keep stabbing away at the problem, because the problem is not going away. It's actually getting worse. Even though you take cats off the street and you take a whole colony off the street, then someone says, oh, there's another colony here, there's another colony here. So yes, I think you can't do it alone. And I do think that any council needs to help.
Yeah. And so in terms of, what you're doing with Peanuts, like, are they helping to try and help you rehome through some of their networks, or do you work with other kind of like cat rescue places to try and find homes for some of these cats that are rehomable?
Yeah, well, Tracey is a big help. She's got some cats listed on her website. So, and we've got someone on our Facebook page. I have talked to my vet about rehoming some cats through there. And the pound as well. My nephew works at the local pound, so I have a contact there. Yeah.
And if people do want to, help you, like you mentioned that you started a Facebook page hoping that people might offer to help, like what kind of help are you looking for?
Anything. Give me a sachet of food. Come and clean the litter tray, anything. But again, it's okay if I don't, because I don't mind doing it on my own. I didn't set out to do it just for people to help me, or I wouldn't have done that. So yeah, happy to do it alone.
Yeah.
But if someone offers help, I'm not going to turn it down.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all like a little bit of help when we can get it. It's something that, you can always appreciate. I'm guessing that this isn't the only thing, it's probably a big part of your life, but it's probably not the only thing you do. You might work or do other things outside of cat rescue. Is that right?
Well, we have to work to pay for the cat rescue, okay? It's costly.
Yeah.
Very costly. Cats are expensive. I mean, I don't really know about dogs. I've never had dogs, but.
And what do you do, I suppose, in your downtime or when you try and relax away from looking after cats? Is there any time you get for yourself?
No.
That's
difficult.
I don't. Yeah, I can
We
imagine.
don't.
Yeah, it must be difficult when that's, your whole life is invested in looking after the animals, which I'm sure is a thankless job at times. But I'm sure also, although you did say you weren't much of a cat lover initially, have they grown on you? Do you enjoy cuddles and kisses?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They've all got different personalities as well.
Yeah.
Which I never thought. Like, I just thought a cat's a cat. Do you know what I mean? Like, until you get to know an animal, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And some of them are just so loving. And I love the ones to bits that hate me as well,
And do you have, I'm guessing, with currently 38 cats, you would have a number of rescue stories, but is there anything that sort of sticks out that, you might like to share, a favorite rescue story or one that, was quite horrible at the time, but you love now?
Okay, I'll tell you my favorite rescue story. Okay, so we built a shed that we could live in while we built the cat house. And one night we were sitting at the table eating, and one of the cats had opened the screen door because it was summertime. Okay, so one of the cats had opened the screen door, and we didn't know how long it had been open for. We didn't know how many cats were outside. So we had to shut the door, and then we had to go find all the cats, or make a list of the cats, go find the cats in the house, and then go find the cats outside of the house. So in the end, after a long time in the dark, there was one cat missing. So we set the trap outside for her. And the next morning I went out and the trap was closed. And I said to my husband, "Oh my God, we've got her. Thank God for that." And there was another cat in the trap. It's like, "Oh no, who's this?" So he was the most vicious little boy I had ever seen. He wasn't little. He would have been a juvenile. And he hated us. He was scary. He was really scary. But after months and months and months, he hasn't got a bad body. He's gorgeous. I love him to bits, and I can't rehome him because I love him. So he's rehomeable, but I can't.
I guess, yeah, that would be a part of it that's so difficult, is that you need to try and rehome some of them, but you would grow such a strong bond that it would be very difficult to separate.
Yes, yes. And also, why do I want to walk around with all the cats that hate me? I at least need a couple that like me, right?
It's the old love-hate relationship. That's what you've got a bit going on at times, it sounds like.
Yes.
And I do wonder, is is it yourself? You did mention initially you had your daughter was the one who actually wanted a cat. So does everyone chip in and help you, or is this a one-person show?
I must say I do most of the work, but my husband, Alex, he helps out. He does.
That's good.
He does.
Tell me your
Not as
daughter,
much as I'd like.
I was going to say, tell me your daughter still loves cats. Otherwise, she really led you up the wrong path.
She's got 9 cats of her own
Well,
and 2 dogs.
There you go. So definitely it started her love affair with cats as well then, by the sounds of it.
Yes, it did. Yes.
Did wonder as well, Nicole, like tell us about your vegan story. How long have you been vegan?
I had to figure this out. Okay, so I've written it down. So we went vegetarian in 2005, and we kind of didn't really get vegan. It was just not something we thought about. So 2012, it took us all the way till 2012 to go vegan.
So 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And do you remember, was there a moment or what made you go from vegetarian to vegan?
Just things that I saw on Facebook, pretty much. It's just I never thought about it, about things. I guess I didn't want to seek it out either. I don't know. It's kind of anyway. So I saw things and went, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Was that in regards to dairy and eggs?
Yeah, I think it was mostly eggs. But I wasn't ever really an egg person. But and it just snowballed from there. When you go, it's like Alice in Wonderland, I guess. I always say that when you go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. And so was it just yourself at the time that went vegan, or your husband did as well?
He did too. And our daughter, we all did.
That's amazing.
Family affair.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. And I do also wonder, I guess it's a bit of I put in inverted commas, controversial subject is around, cats and veganism, because I know some people try and feed their cats like a vegan diet and others say it's unsafe. Like what's your experience with that?
For us, it's unaffordable.
Yeah.
Because if we could do it, we would do it, obviously. But I don't think cats would fare too well on a vegan diet. And I know people will say they do. But then they shouldn't be on a vegan diet, I don't think. It's not very vegan, I know, to feed the cats animals, but it's also not vegan to trap a cat, to kill a cat. And it's also not vegan to leave a cat on the street to kill wildlife. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah, it's a really difficult subject that you see, a lot of people online, almost vegans, arguing against other vegans about, and it is a difficult one. Yeah.
Yes, it is. But no matter how you look at it, you're not doing a vegan thing. So there's that. Yeah.
No, I understand. And so when you guys went vegan, was that like a shock? Because I'm guessing at the time, were you living in regional New South Wales or were you living elsewhere?
No, we've always lived in Goulburn, so it's hard here. We are the sheep capital of New South Wales, or the wool capital or something. There's an abattoir just down the road that we can smell occasionally. So it's not easy. There's a lot of farmers around here.
And I'm guessing that it's not something where you feel, do you find, like, have you been able to find a bit of a vegan community or people, like-minded people, or have you had to sort of spread yourselves a little bit further afield to find similar people?
I've spread further afield, but interestingly, there are quite a few people in Goulburn. We used to get together occasionally. We started up a Facebook page. A friend started it up, and we're both admins on it, Vegans and Vegetarians of Goulburn and surrounds. But then COVID hit, so we kind of didn't meet after that. But yeah, it was good. Different people used to come to have coffee.
Yeah.
So it was good. And there's a lot of members on there. I don't think all of them come from Goulburn, but there are a few.
Yeah, because Goulburn, am I right? Your closest capital city is actually Canberra, isn't it? It's a bit closer to Canberra than it is Sydney. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So we're an hour from Canberra, probably about an hour and a half from Campbelltown.
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Because I know that there's an incredible Sydney vegan market, but I'm guessing there's probably nothing that's sort of similar in Canberra. Well, I haven't heard of it anyway.
No, they used to have a Living Green festival, which was probably my favourite day of the year. It only happened once a year. It was absolutely amazing, but it just fizzled out. I don't really know what happened in that space, but it was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you find yourselves going to Sydney for little like vegan, weekends or to do different things like that, or do you mostly stick around Goulburn and Canberra area?
Well, when you say weekends with 38 cats, you don't get to go away for a weekend. You actually don't get to go away for a night. That's okay. We go to Sydney occasionally. If we have something to do in Sydney, we always make it a full day soul burger or, somewhere like that. We really missed the Green Lion. There was a pub in Sydney that was absolutely amazing. But anyway, that's okay.
Yeah.
There's not much vegan stuff around here.
No. And I'm guessing as well, over the last 10 years since you've gone vegan, you would have seen like quite a little bit changing in terms of even just how like the food you can get and maybe like you're saying more people going vegan. Like, is there anything that sort of stands out to you over the last 10 years that's really changed?
The ready to eat meals in supermarkets. Like you can go and you can buy a chicken schnitzel or a beef burger that's vegan. See, back in 2012, you couldn't really do that. You had to make everything from scratch. It was like you have to make your pie. You can't just go and buy a pie, which was awful because you couldn't. You come home from work at 5 o'clock and then it'd take you 2 hours to prepare a bloody meal. It was terrible. I like the quick schnitzels that you can buy now. It's good.
Especially with how busy you are. I'm guessing that's, nice, one less thing to have to worry about at the end of a long day is having to start something from scratch.
Yes, I know. It's especially now that we've got 38 cats, because that's the first thing you do is you come home and you give them dinner and clean their areas. And then when you think about your dinner, it's like 6 o'clock.
And so is there anything else in your vegan journey, that we might have forgot to discuss? Like, I suppose something I did want to ask you was, when you first went vegan to now, like, was there anything along the way that, got you, I suppose, like involved in even before you started with cats?
Yeah, we've been to a few Canberra events. I don't know if you've heard of the late Bede Carmody. He was a friend and we used to spend once a year at his place, and he used to invite everyone around, and that was a really good time. So and then the Living Green Festival, that was a highlight, and you got to catch up with a lot of people there. I've got to meet a lot of people from other sanctuaries, and then go to protests. I've been to protests with friends. Yeah, just things like that.
Yeah. And when you're saying about other sanctuaries, they ones located near you? I'm aware of Peanuts, but I'm not sure if there's others close by.
We're really close with Charlie from Sydney Fox and Dingo Rescue. He's not far from us, actually. He's you drive past his place to get to Tracey's, so he's a lot closer. We spend a lot of time at Charlie's house, helping him out as well. He's got a lot of dingoes. And then there's Kate and James from Little Oak. They're actually on our road as well, but you go right to the end and turn off to go to their place. And then Shannon at Whisker Woods.
Wow.
Who we're friends with, and she's on the other side of Canberra. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Even though, I would have thought you might have been a little bit more isolated, but it sounds like you've got some, great connections around you.
Yeah. And when you figure out that you've got those connections around you, it's easier. It's easier to be vegan, and it is.
Yeah. Absolutely. And did you happen to have a favorite quote that you wanted to share with us to finish the episode?
Oh, my favorite quote is never be silent.
I love that.
Short and sweet.
You were saying you actually have it tattooed on yourself, is that right?
Yes, it's on my arms. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And what inspired you to get it tattooed on yourself?
I don't know. I guess to remind me that I shouldn't be silent no matter what people think. Yeah, you have to speak up for those less vulnerable, those vulnerable ones in our society, and that's animals.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's really great to share your story and hear about what you've started doing, like more, I suppose you could say more publicly. It sounds like you've been doing this for years, but it's something that, you're hoping to get help from others and really share and get support with. So I'll, as I said, put your Facebook page in the show notes so that people can jump across and follow you and hopefully support you guys. And if there's anything they can do to help, I'm sure they'll reach out. So thank you so much, Nicole. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries.